One more for both. It's a life and death battle on China Beach. Sunday, Corky won't out from under his parents' wings on Life Goes On. Now, stay tuned for Roseanne next.
Knowing how to read has helped me get to where I am today.
Thursday, Primetime Live goes undercover. Chris Wallace shows step-by-step how drug kingpins launder their millions. Don't miss Primetime Live Thursday.
Zenith Spectacular Value Sale is on. There's a Zenith color television for everyone. You select from 10 different screen sizes and then choose from over 50 different models. What a great selection at spectacular savings. And Zenith's full line of VCRs are also reduced during the Zenith Spectacular Value Sale. Now's the time to buy. See one of these fine Zenith dealers.
Don's TV, Northern TV, Pluffs, Henry's Refrigeration, and Kilpella Furniture and Appliance.
Buick has a doggone good deal. With Husky cash back.
The 90 Buick LeSabre has been chosen the official courtesy car for the premier UP200 Sled Dog Championships.
Nice car.
The perfect family car. Ranked the most trouble-free car in America. And now get up to $1,250 cash back from your UP Buick dealer. A doggone good deal on LeSabre and up to $1,250 cash back.
We'd rather be driving a Buick.
Don't miss the UP Sled Dog Championship and the savings on LeSabre now at your Upper Peninsula Buick dealers.
Watch Love Connection weeknights at 11:30 on Channel 3.
Roseanne, brought to you by Nissan. Building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race.
Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year is a car with extraordinary performance. Inspired styling. A car designed to satisfy the most demanding driving enthusiast. In other words, Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year is just another Nissan.
A little cheddar makes a plain potato, scrumptious. But without the cheddar cheese...
no thanks.
So add a little cheddar cheese.
Oh, thank you.
And add a lot of taste. Cheese makes all the difference.
John Laro Cash.
It's just house guests. Maybe we're at some vacation guide to the dam.
Kirstie Alley.
House guests from hell.
Madhouse, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, February 16th.
From the director of Top Gun, he came from a world where one wrong move could mean sudden death, and found a love even more dangerous.
Do you feel the way I feel?
I think I fell in love.
If you don't do that...
Kevin Costner.
Where is she?
Anthony Quinn.
A woman like that is almost anything to keep her.
Madeline Stowe. Revenge. Rated R. Starts Friday at select theaters.
The Nissan I want is the, was in those commercials. They drove it to South America, the Pathfinder. We'd load up the Pathfinder and, whoops, really a four-door, and go skiing every weekend. Or the Paris-Dakar Rally. We could be the first family to race from Paris to Africa. Quit our jobs, pull the kids out of school. Maybe not. Most credit cards advance you cash, but then immediately take interest back and keep on taking it. But now you can get cash interest-free with your Discover card. Just pay your balance every month, and for a small transaction fee, we'll give you the cash interest-free. So take it from us instead of giving it to them. It pays to Discover.
Oh, children, can't you see? It's time to rest and take it easy. Now, oh, children, what's your hurry? It's time, my children. It's time for Domino's Pizza.
Today, more than ever, you need Domino's to take care of dinner so you can take care of life.
Oh, children, it's time for Domino's Pizza. Oh, yeah.
Wednesday. A medal for McMurphy.
He's dead. His body just doesn't know it yet.
Just did what I thought was right.
The price of glory measured in lives.
He was fighting to stay alive.
He was fighting to die.
That's not true.
China Beach, Wednesday. Friday, meet Mr. Egghead.
Don't exhaust yourself.
But he's just full of yolks in an all-new Full House Friday.
Sometimes I imagine my wimpy sedan is a Nissan Stanza, the new one with the big engine, and I take it shopping in Monte Carlo. I stop for a light and one of the locals pulls up. My kids are yelling, I think I will.
Now available for the first time, the complete recordings of Olga Montero and her magic harp, including such classics as
Still Going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going.
My headaches are full-grown, adult-sized bangaroos, so I bang them back with Bear. It's strong. It's not an aspirin substitute. It's made for adults, just like you and me.
For adult-sized pain, Bayer, the wonder drug that works wonders.
Thinking of getting high? You better know what you're jumping into.
Next, if you're in Memphis without your PJs, you dress like a king.
I don't tell Christie, and you don't tell Dauber. It never happened.
Help Coach keep his little secret next.
The untold story of the boy who became president.
You can tell all your grandchildren that you once went to bed with me.
The Kennedys of Massachusetts, starting Sunday.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chest.
1,
Back.
2, 3,
Torso.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1.
And 2 more.
2, 3, 4. Together, apart, down and up. Together, apart,
And finish.
down.
See, you did feel them, right?
Oh, yes. Can't move.
Wednesday.
You want to be cool? I'm your man.
Doogie Howser, MD.
Hey.
Ben.
I don't know how to say this, but
It's a real surprise party.
it might be best if we don't see each other anymore.
Anything but love following Doogie Howser, MD.
Buick has a doggone good deal.
With Husky cash back.
The 90 Buick LeSabre has been chosen the official courtesy car for the premier UP200 Sled Dog Championships.
Nice car.
The perfect family car, ranked the most trouble-free car in America. And now get up to $1,250 cash back from your UP Buick dealer. A doggone good deal on LeSabre and up to $1,250 cash back.
We'd rather be driving a Buick.
Don't miss the UP Sled Dog Championship and the savings on LeSabre now at your Upper Peninsula Buick dealers.
My new father-in-law is here from Italy, so I brought him to a real Italian restaurant. Big Boy.
Mio genere è uno stupido.
He says he's happy to be here.
Mia figlia ha sposato un imbecille.
Hey, he says the Italian dinners are really delicious, like all the good food at Big Boy.
Annunziare la festiva italiano alla Big Boy.
Big Boy's featuring spaghetti with zesty meat sauce.
Delizioso.
And tasty veal or chicken parmigiana.
Amore.
I love you too, Dad.
There's more to love with new Steak Siciliano during the Big Boy Italian Festival.
Watch Love Connection weeknights at 11:30 on Channel 3.
If you're like me, you appreciate value, whether it's in fine shine or a luxury car. That's why you should explore the values available now at your Buick dealer. Regal is Buick's best-selling coupe. Century, the best-selling Buick sedan. 2 ways to discover the value of Buick. Ranked among the most trouble-free American car companies. Lots of dealers promise value, but they're not selling Buicks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dennis Miller.
I just knew they'd call.
dry wide oval solids. Stay cool, soft and dry.
When a good aggressive play did prevent the 2, and this time, Larry, that might be out of frustration at the previous call.
Little emotion got out of control, possibly, Art. And that's Ben Johnson's end of the floor. That's the end of the floor. The defensive side is the one he wants to play, the one he owns normally.
Well, Ben was scoreless in limited action in both games against SMS last year and is scoreless tonight and on the bench with 4 fouls. And meanwhile, Reed hits at the line, and he's up to 17 points on an average of 20.3. Dan Overbrunner with the rebound of Reed's miss. So the Bears 2 of 4 at the foul line here in the second half. And 6 of 9 for the game. They lead by 9. And Yates has missed a couple now after making one to start the half.
When you're able to square up and look at the basket like that with the wing, you got to make it like that.
Yep, that's going to be a block on Vanderplas. Score the basket for Reed, and he'll go to the line, a chance at a 3-point play. Larry, we've talked earlier about how Vanderplas really doesn't look like what you think of as a basketball player, and truthfully, neither does Darrell Reed, but he is quicker than he looks, and a guy that manages to get the job done.
Well, I was thinking before just a minute ago, Art and Tom, that both Reed and Bernard are not exactly svelte. I mean, I'm not saying they're overweight, but I mean, these guys are pretty stockily built for guards.
I think you can say that they're slightly overweight and get away with it.
Well, they haven't missed a meal. Let's put it that way in a while.
Yeah, we can attest to that. Darrell completes the 3-point play, so he has his 20-point average with 17 minutes to go. And the Bears enjoy their biggest lead of the night, 41-29.
Got to tell folks, when we checked into the hotel today, we saw Darrell and Arnold in the lobby. We said, hey, fellas, we watched the game on TV Saturday. And Darrell looked at us and said, sorry about that.
Now they're going to call a little more closely. And Vanderplas fouled on his drive by Jeff Ford. That's his second. Now, Jeff Ford has really been an increasing part of the SMS offense in recent games, though you couldn't tell it from tonight.
Kind of hooking him with a knee there, I guess.
And Dean, again, despite his linebacker appearance, he's got a step of quickness right there, and he used it right there to draw the foul.
Here's Karizny, guarded closely by Reed. Back out to Tony Bennett. Bernard loses his feet, and Bennett, left wide open, hits the baseline jumper.
Well, I think Bernard might have got a little help losing his feet right there, but Tony Bennett is such a smooth player that he makes things happen.
And Bennett's up to 13 points.
And the Phoenix needed that bucket bad because Tony has brought the crowd back into it a little bit.
Campbell answers. I tell you, Campbell is not really a shooter, but that was about 8 feet out in the paint. He's more of a low-post scorer and a putback man than a shooter. But that with tough defense on him, and he made it. Restores the lead to 12.
He must have had a heck of a shoot-around today because he's shooting with confidence from the 8-10 foot.
Here's Karizny. Ford pointing out a wet spot on the floor as he keeps his composure. 12-point lead in the ball for SMS. Reed back out to Ford, who is shooting 58% over his last 8 games. 31 of 53, but only 1 point tonight. There's a steal by Overbrunner. 1 on 3, and he takes it all the way and scores anyway.
This is just a really great steal by Overburner right here. He takes it away from Reed, and there's not much that Arnold Bernard's going to be able to do about something like that.
No, and he wasn't even supposed to play tonight. As of last week, he was very, very doubtful.
Campbell puts it on the floor in traffic. And on the turnover, the Phoenix, trailing by 10, has it back. You know, Karizny's going to take it and hits.
You saw Karizny fire his 6 guns. Tim Harris from the Packers does that when he gets a sack, and after Karizny nails a 3-pointer, he gives it the old 6-gun shot too.
Reed off the Ford. And Overbrunner on the boards. It's a 7-point game, and Green Bay with the ball. 14.5 minutes to go. Bennett from 3. Hill the rebound. And the Bears lead is down to 5. And timeout taken by Charlie Spoonell. Like lightning, the Phoenix have risen up from a big deficit, and they're back in it at 43 to 38.
We're making 90s resolutions here at Public Service Garage. We pledge to bring you the top selection in the UP: Buicks, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, and Cadillacs. We pledge to give you the lowest prices on our super collection of used cars. And we pledge to give you fast, dependable service. We'll have no trouble keeping these resolutions because we make them every year. Public Service Garage.
His favorite storyteller brings you the most heartwarming and hilarious adventure of all time. Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom on Ice, starring Pinocchio and all your Disney friends, live at the Brown County Arena, January 24th through 28th. WFRV invites your family to opening night, Wednesday the 24th at 7:30 p.m., when all tickets will be $2 off, courtesy of WFRV. For a lifetime of family memories, get your tickets today for Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom on Ice.
Well, the SMSU Bears were up by 12 points not long ago at 43 to 31, but no more.
Great putback here by Hill. Just a super rebound, goes straight up and drops it down.
And he's doing exactly what Dick Bennett has him in the lineup to do, and that's giving some inside scoring threat. And the nice thing about Larry Hill is he's able to take it outside a little bit and put it in.
He has 14 points. The Phoenix has run off 7 unanswered and have cut the Bears' lead to 5, and the stomping and the rhythmic applause begins from the crowd. Chris Stang, guarded by Karizny, guarded closely.
Push off.
They're going to call that on Brewer for pushing off. A lot of the time, you call a timeout to take the crowd out of the game and settle things down. And it works if, following the timeout, your team does something positive, but the Bears come right back out and make another mistake. Karizny. And Brewer has the rebound come right to him in the lane. Reed all the way. That's punched out of bounds by Yates, or beg your pardon, by Hill.
Well,
I do not know about that call.
Well, I believe Darrell Reed may have batted the ball out of bounds, and the indecisive look on the official told you that he probably wasn't too sure either.
I think there's a real good chance Darrell Reed batted it out of bounds.
David Brewer to do the inbounding honors. SMS in a little bit of a lull now. Brewer hits a tough baseline J. He has 4 points tonight, was credited with the tip-in at the first half buzzer. There's that out-of-bounds play again.
Yep.
Well, we have the miracle of instant replay to help us, but that wasn't even close.
Here's Bennett. He's mugged on the way in, but gets the ball to Overbrunner for 2.
Boy, Danny Overbrunner is really sparking the Phoenix. He had that steal for the layup earlier, and then he makes that basket. It's really put him back into the game.
It again is a 5-point SMSU lead. Just under 13 minutes to go. Lovelace Redmond, 2 points so far tonight off the bench. A 6'2" junior from Milwaukee.
What a play by Dean Vanderplas.
Overplay steal by Vanderplas.
Our linebacker, tight end, whatever, doesn't look the part, but he sure gets the job done.
Came over to front David Brewer. Overbrunner into Vanderplas. Ducks under Brewer. And Campbell has the rebound and a big board for SMS.
Well, a big possession for the Phoenix. Had they gotten back to within 3, really could have meant some stuff in here. Still could happen, though.
Here's Bernard, left open, hits the 3. Arnold Bernard with his first 3 of the game.
A three-point shot. What a way to put the water on the Phoenix Fire.
Bears
Mix it
lead
up to
goes
8.
back to 8. I tell you, he won't shoot unless he's wide open, but here's Bennett now shooting open and answering with another 3.
What a duel, huh?
Bennett's certainly a much more complete player, but by the same token, that puts a lot more pressure on him to do so many things, and he does them so well. Bennett with 16 points now.
Well, Tony carries such a big load, ball handling, defense, and scoring for the Phoenix.
Darrell Reed drives on Oberbrunner, picks up the foul, and they'll count the basket. The underneath official, Darrell Lamps, who made the call, scores the bucket.
Well, watch Darrell Reed here. Does exactly what he wants. Brewer cleans just a little bit of the lane for him there, and Reed really just needs just a little crease to get through, and he does.
Oberbrunner was beaten on the baseline and committed the foul trying to catch up. He goes out, as does Vanderplas.
If you watch Art and Tom, you watch the GB style of defense, they almost open themselves up to that type of play because they overplay and they play the ball so strongly that they got to count on weak side, backside help if they have any chance at all.
Well, that's yet another similarity between the way these two teams function.
Part of aggressive defense that, you know, if you're going to really overplay it, the guy is going to be able to get an edge on you once in a while.
Again, offensively, this is not really a typical spoon ball team. As we mentioned earlier, they are a little bit more up-tempo than they've been in the past, but the defensive principles are the same. And Dick Bennett and Charlie Spoonhour are a mutual admiration society.
I was talking to Charlie today. He called Dick the best coach in the conference. Dick could say the same thing about Charlie.
Here's Bennett shooting on the move, and Campbell cleans the glass again.
Now 13 unofficially now for Lee Campbell.
Bears by 8, and Tony Bennett glares at the nearest official, Richard Enan. Out to Getty Redmond. That time Campbell had position, but the ball came out long to Karizny. Bennett down low, posts up Bernard and scores.
Well, being able to turn around on the move and display that kind of touch, that's why Tony Bennett's Tony Bennett.
I tell you, Larry, and it's like he scores when he has to, doesn't it? The other night, Vanderplas was doing the job, so he was content to pass off. Tonight, one thing's covered, he's going to take over. As Hill blocks Campbell's shot, and then it's saved inbounds by Chris Yates.
Oh, we talked at the start of the game tonight, Art and Tom. The Phoenix are a attitude bunch. You can see the way they scrap and hustle and so forth. Behind right now, but still an attitude bunch.
Redmond swats Karizny's shot away. Bernard a little out of control on the drive. Back come the Phoenix. Good position by Jeff Ford and a charge. Dick Bennett is incensed.
Oh, and
he got his first technical of the season Saturday night against Eastern Illinois.
You will not see Dick Bennett get that incensed over a call very often.
But it's going to be a charge against Wisconsin Green Bay's Larry Hill, and we have a stoppage of play with 9.5 minutes to go. It's the Bears 51, the Phoenix 45.
At Cobb's Food Centers, quality, selection, and low prices are the law. Our inspector sees to that.
Fruits and vegetables must be fresh or we won't sell them. Coco's a nut for quality.
Our meat department has the choicest at a savings with the highest trim standards around.
And fresh catch of the day seafood, too.
Plus a full range of customer services like bagging and parcel pickup. That's the law at Cobb's.
We never stop saving you money, Cobb's.
You'll get the best of winter when you get the most trouble-free American car, the 1990 Buick LeSabre from your Upper Peninsula Buick dealer. Now get rebates of up to $1,250, and the car surveys consistently rank among the best in quality and service. LeSabre has a powerful engine, top technology, and the smooth Dynaride suspension. Prestige, elegance, and value, now with up to $1,250 in rebates. Get the best of winter in a 1990 LeSabre from your Upper Peninsula Buick dealers.
I know that for every person who's come on the show and shared their misery, they've helped thousands of others.
You're calling it a crime, and that's good.
Did you lose someone as a result of a drunk driver?
Daughter, 16 years old.
That's why people who call this sensationalism don't get it.
The step before your next step up. Northeast Wisconsin Technical College. Register in January. For information, call this number. Press NWTC.
6-point ball game with 9.5 minutes to play. The crowd still a little bit upset about the charging call against UWGB just before that timeout. Dick Bennett now trying to get substitutes onto the floor. Here's the call again.
Watch Jeff Ford, and does he get there, and is he set? You could probably watch that videotape several times, and each side make a case each direction.
Depends on who you're rooting for on that one.
I think his feet were set, but his body may have been swaying. It's going to be a foul on Karizny.
Well, and the important thing now for the Phoenix is to realize that they have placed the Bears into the 1-and-1, so they'll shoot the rest of the way. The Bears still with just 2 personals here in the second half.
And I'm sure that's something that contributed to Dick Bennett's outburst, is that one side's getting the calls, the other is not.
But again, and we say this every game, but it's true, SMS year in and year out has the fewest fouls called on them in the conference, and it's not because the officials love Charlie, it's because they move their feet, play good fundamental defense.
Believe me, if you listen to some of the things Charlie says to him, you know they can't love him.
Well, I think he just looks mean, but he's actually saying you guys are doing a great job.
Ford makes both foul shots. The lead is back to 8 for SMSU, and Karizny, the always dangerous shooter. Ford called for a bump now as he tried to overplay on Oberbrunner and picks up his 3rd foul.
Well, Jeff Ford has made a few free throws here, and he's got a couple of rebounds, but he has not played a Jeff Ford ball game tonight. We have seen him in recent games with Wyoming and St. Louis and Wichita State. He has really played some outstanding ball the last half-dozen games.
Here's Bennett off to Oberbrunner, left open by Ford. And Campbell for the rebound. Unofficially, what, Tom, 14?
About 14, I think. Above the average, certainly.
He's averaging 12.3. Ford at the other end.
You know, the Phoenix just don't have a guy that can dominate on the boards. You look at their rebounding statistics, and there'll be like 4 players with 3, 2, that type of thing, but they can never have a guy dominate on the boards.
Well, their leader is Vanderplas, averaging 4 rebounds. But again, we get back to the point that there aren't that many shots in Green Bay games because of their offensive philosophy. The Phoenix average only 48 shots a game from the floor, and their opponents average only 44. SMS averages 53 shots, and their opponents average 58. And the Bears aren't exactly loyal to Marymount.
I think it's been 5 or 6 games since the Phoenix have scored 60 points. And they've won all of them but one.
Dave Brewer makes 1. Ford had the rebound. Campbell ends up running it down. Bears by 9, 8.5 minutes to play.
Good block that time.
Yates, I believe it was, that got a piece of the ball.
Again, in an illustration, Larry Hill is not uncomfortable away from the basket at 6'7".
Yates cut off by Campbell. Here's Hill. Yet another one of those situations, Larry, where the Phoenix get the ball where they want it and just can't get it in the hole.
No, and something about that, the first half shooting percentage was 50%, but Larry Hill was 6 for 8. And when you don't take a lot of shots, as you've mentioned, Art, that makes a difference.
Reed stripped to the ball by Oberbrunner, but gets it back. And Ford somehow fights it away from Yates, who had position, and Ford snuck around from behind and took the ball away.
And what that really does is it gives the Bears a restart on the clock. Not that they've really been playing the clock that much, but you do get a fresh 45.
Here's Brewer. Arnold Bernard, the A-train.
That was real nice help by Roger Ripley underneath after Bernard got by Tony Bennett.
15 to shoot. Reed shoots and makes his third three of the night. Darrell Reed up to 26 points. And the Bears, who had their 12-point lead cut to 5, now have it built back up to 12 again with 7 minutes to go.
You can help on defense all you want, but if you're going to bomb from way out there, it's not going to do much good.
Get up! Get up!
Very important basket right there.
Well, Tony Bennett now with 21 points. And he answers the three from Reed. That's a couple of times tonight. The Phoenix had come right back and hit a bomb after the Bears had.
As good as Tony was last year, can you fellas see the progress in his sophomore season? He plays like a senior now.
Well, he does. Here's Brewer now with a turnaround jumper, and the redshirt junior from Springfield Glendale High has 7 points. He sat out last year because the Bears were loaded on the front line with the likes of Hubert Henderson and Kelby Stuckey, and it's paid off. Oberbrunner misses. Campbell the rebound.
Somewhere around 16. I'm kind of losing count on Lee Campbell on the rebound.
6 minutes to go. It's SMSU 59-47.
Phoenix need another run, Art, like they had about 6 minutes ago. They've got to get another run started.
The Bears have taken the crowd out of the game, though as I say that, they start the rhythmic applause again. They're waiting for the team to do something to give them reason to get pumped.
Unfortunately, from the Phoenix point of view, they have not shot the ball well enough to get another run going. Just hasn't happened. They've gotten the shot, so.
Bernard just flings it up there, and the long rebound out to Ford. And then as Oberbrunner was going to run it down, Darrell Reed jumped on him and fouled him. His first foul on Darrell Reed.
Well, you can kind of blame a little of Darrell's foul on Jeff Ford getting the rebound but not putting enough behind it. I think he just kind of lobbed it towards Darrell and really didn't put anything behind the pass.
Charlie Spoonhour lost the first game he ever coached against a Green Bay team. That's when Dick Lean was the coach here. And since, he's won 14 straight, dating back to 1984. Leads by 12 tonight. Ben Johnson back in with 4 fouls. Vanderplas going to take it. He can make those. We've seen that often enough.
He's got nice touch, and you can't say it too much. He plays with his heart, and he makes up for any physical liabilities with attitude.
Oh, got a nice soft jump shot.
Oh, yeah.
Brewer may have been fouled by Bennett.
Either Bennett or possibly Ripley. I don't know. We'll have to see the call here.
Bennett was reaching for the ball. They call the foul on Ripley. So after the Bennett reach, that's 1 on Roger. And Brewer will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. The 26 points that Darrell Reed has tonight represents the 3rd time this season that he has scored that many. His high game was 27 as the Bears beat Creighton in the finals of their Mazzio's Pizza Classic in Springfield back in December.
Mike Korizny has come in for Danny Oberbrunner. Now Larry Hill back in for Roger Ripley. But I thought Danny Oberbrunner did a great job off the bench. I mean, he's a starter most of the time. Injuries have kept him on the bench the last couple games. But he really ignited that one run they had. They had that great steal in a basket, and then a basket from outside really helped them out.
Brewer makes the first one, has 8 points. In a reserve role, second foul shot is rebounded by Vanderplas.
I would imagine the Bears normally shoot free throws better than they are tonight.
Yeah, they do. Here's Bennett. Lovelace Redmond. has the long rebound.
But they can't rebound much better.
Well, really dominance on the board, and of course Lee Campbell leading the way, which you would have expected coming in, but the Phoenix have just had a difficult time getting anything off the glass tonight at all.
Here's David Brewer. Bears content now to run the shot clock on every possession. We're approaching the 4-minute mark in the game, and they're leading by 11 points.
Part of that rebounding problem for the Phoenix might be, if you look at the stature of the players, Dean Vanderplas carries some weight. The rest of them really do not. It looks like the Bears are a little bigger team physically that way.
Here's Vanderplas on the drive. The lead's down to 9. At the other end, Reed had taken the shot with the shot clock down to 7 seconds. Charlie Spoonhour, I think, wants to call a timeout. He was about to get a TV timeout, but he chooses to call one at this point in the game with 3:39 to play. It's SMSU by 9 in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Great American, the Big Twin is back at Hardee's, accompanied by new Crispy Curls fries. It's a classic taste with a new twist. Thousands cheer the big taste of 2 burgers, lettuce, cheese, and Big Twin sauce. Hundreds thrill at the specially seasoned Crispy Curls. Yes, America, the Big Twin is back, but only at Hardee's. And right now, you can get the Big Twin, new Crispy Curls and a medium Coke for just $2.49 plus tax. That's right, $2.49. So hurry to Hardee's.
Here's to the little, to the tiny, to the small. The ones that aren't big, and for those that aren't tall. McCain Junior Juice, you've made us content. You're a great little juice, 100%. So I raise my Junior Juice and drink from the box. Egads, let's be off. Here comes the fox.
Junior Juice from McCain. The best little juice in a box.
Better, the guaranteed rebate from Dodge. Now, the guaranteed best rebate this model year is extended to Dodge's family of family cars. There's still $1,000 on Caravans, plus $1,000 on Dynasties, $1,000 on Spirits, and $1,000 on Sporty Shadows. If any of these rebates go up this model year, we'll pay you the difference. That's the guaranteed rebate, only from your Dodge dealer. Nobody can match us. Not Ford, not Chevy, nobody.
Game 2 of the Mid-Continent Conference regular season for both these teams, and SMSU has the better of it now by 9 points with 3.5 minutes to go on Green Bay's home floor. Arnold Bernard brings it up for the Bears. Good movement down low, but Campbell has his shot blocked, only to have Reed pick it back up and score, and Darrell Reed now has a career-high 28 points.
Well, Lee Campbell probably could have gotten the layup, but thought he'd go for the crowd pleaser.
Karisny hits a 2 at the other end. He now has 5 points. He, too, played for his dad in high school at Menasha before coming here to Wisconsin Green Bay and making all these 3-pointers.
You know, Art and Tom, before the game, I was talking to Mike Karisny, and he said he'd like to wish a goodwill to his sister, Jennifer, who also plays basketball at Menasha St. Mary's High School, and she just broke her knee, or knee bone, that's the way Mike put it, just the other day, and so get well to Jennifer.
We have a timeout called by Green Bay. 3:09 to play. Bears leading in Wisconsin.
Let's face it, driving drunk is a hassle, but now, thanks to an exclusive offer from the state of Wisconsin, you don't have to worry about driving drunk any longer. That's right. Wisconsin's new improved drunk driving law says if you drive drunk, you lose your license on the spot. Imagine, no more driving responsibilities for months, guaranteed. But wait, you get more than just pedestrian pleasures when you take advantage of this exciting offer. You get a free test of physical coordination. You get your very own breath test, a pair of beautiful silver bracelets. Just imagine the thrill of hearing you've lost your driving privileges on the spot. But wait, there's more. The childhood dream of riding in a real police car. A free portrait and fingerprints. An all-expense-paid night of adventure with special new friends. And all for the low, low price of just $3,000 in fines, fees, and insurance costs. Now, for an unlimited time, this special offer offer is open to anyone driving drunk in Wisconsin. So, if you're tired of the responsibility of driving, drive drunk in Wisconsin. We've got a drunk driving law you just can't resist.
Bears length of the floor to go and leading by 9 points with 3 minutes left. They fast break, and Bernard's called for traveling.
Yeah, I think he picked up the ball and had it half in his palm and took 3 of those little stutter steps down there before he unloaded.
I thought he might have got away with carrying it a little bit right before.
With Arnold, all his steps are little. Sometimes it's kind of hard to count them. Tony Bennett. Oh, great move with the ball. 22 for Tony. Last year, he set a school record with a 44-point game against Cleveland State. So far this year, his high game has been 23. Has 22 tonight. The Bears lead by 7, and it is crunch time. 2.5 minutes to go. Blocking foul on Bennett. That'll send Lovelace Redmond to the line. It's Tony Bennett's 3rd foul.
Well, take a look at your watch or your clock. It's a little after 5, about 5 after 9. We got 2.5 to go. Let's see how long it takes to play this.
You're talking about such a complete ball player. There's really nothing out there he can't do. And I would not be surprised to see him Sunday lead the Phoenix in rebounding as well as scoring and assists.
Well, last year he averaged 19 points and 5 assists. This year, 15 points, 5 assists, 2.5 steals a game. Makes 47% of his three-point shots. Meanwhile, Lovelace Redmond has made the front end of the 1-and-1. Averaging 6 points a game off Charlie Spoonhour's bench. Honestly, a lot more scoring was expected of him, and that may well come as he continues to adjust to the system as a JUCO transfer. He was a big scorer in junior college in Wyoming. Here's Vanderplas from Bennett. And Dean Vanderplas now has 8 points.
You can see the tempo of the Phoenix game picking up a little here. Whether it's too late remains to be seen, but you can see it picking up the intensity.
That has to. Vanderplas very aggressive when the game's on the line, driving that baseline. Crowd wanted a double dribble against the Bears. Shot clock's at 22. Reed intended for Campbell, but knocked out of bounds through the hands of a Green Bay player.
Yeah, David Hill got a hand on that one, sent it into the crowd. You're under 2 minutes to go now.
Shot clock at 18, game clock at 1:53. It's the Bears by 7. Ford in too deep, and Johnson dives on the floor. Boy, the Phoenix are really hustling, but the Bears have gotten most of the loose balls tonight.
I think Charlie Spoonhour says, I want 45 seconds off this clock.
Dick Bennett is unlikely to allow that. Ford inbounds to Reed. And an immediate foul, like we said.
I believe it'll go against Vanderplas.
That'll be his 4th. And it'll send Darrell Reed to the line to shoot 1-and-1.
Art fouls are 19-9, 19 against the Phoenix, 9 against the Bears, only 4 against the Bears in the second half.
Darrell, a good free throw shooter, 76% on the year. One more foul shot for the 6'2" junior from the Bronx. 30 points for Darrell Reed tonight, a career best. 9 points is the margin. Bennett having to make things happen, and Bernard jumps out and fouls it.
You know, the thing you got to like about Bernard is that, I don't know if he means to or not, but he's got those classic Michael Jordan drawers on. I mean, he's got kind of an individual style with those. I see none of the other Bears have them quite with that fit.
None of the others have quite the same build. Arnold averaging 10.5 points a game and 6.5 assists, which is a bunch. He has only 3 points tonight on that one three-pointer that he shot. Tony Bennett shakes free of Arnold. Ford can leap. Got up in the air, kept it alive. Campbell corrals it. 1:28 to play. And a blocking foul on Bennett, his fourth.
Well, it's, desperate situations, kind of desperate measures right now. You'll see the Phoenix take a lot more chances trying to get back into it.
Wisconsin-Green Bay allows an average of only 58.7 points a game. The Bears are likely to go over 70 tonight. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yes, it is. I think they're about fourth in the country in Division I defense against scoring.
Bernard makes the front end.
But the Bears, I think I would imagine they've been scoring more than usual this year because they do play a more up-tempo game.
Averaging 74.5 and allowing 63.5. A-Train makes them both. And the Bears lead by 11 with 1:20 to go. It's going to be another foul on Bernard.
Charlie Spooner says, that's it. I don't want Bennett to shoot. And that's the bottom line right there. You rather give the fouls, and that was the 6th on the Bears, so you won't give it again, but you want to give it rather than give Bennett the chance to find a place to shoot through.
Smart coach by Charlie. Use up the foul rather than take a basket or the chance.
Inbounds to Bennett. Now he's going to shoot and hit from 3. A season-high 25 for Tony Bennett. And the Bears lead is down to 8 as Bernard dribbles through everybody, but traveled on the end of it. Don't go away.
Arnold Bernard trying to create closing moment excitement.
Arnold now has 3 fouls. Here's Bennett from 3. Nearly, but not quite. And Campbell on the defensive boards. 50 seconds left in the game. Bears by 8. Ford spots an open Darrell Reed, and the Bears will play keep away till the Phoenix catch him and foul him. We're down to 36 seconds.
Oh, we got to foul him here, man.
Well, Ben Johnson did foul Reed. We could hear the flesh slap right here in front of us, but they waited till the next man, and that was Karisny. They call it on Karisny. Dick Bennett, a picture of frustration.
Well, Arnold Bernard just walked to Charlie Spoonhour in front of us here, and he said, that was my fault. And Charlie said, yeah, it was. I think talking about the walking call.
Reed back at the line. Crowd of 5,121 starts to head for the exits. Bears up by 9 with 29 seconds left. $32 points for Reed. 70-60. Johnson misses out of the corner. Redmond the rebound. And Bernard fouled at midcourt by Karisny, and a good foul, or it would have been a breakaway layup or dunk for Jeff Ford.
Yes, clarify that. It would not have been a dunk for Arnold Bernard.
No. But Ford was well in front of Arnold.
Well, Art, I think the Bears obviously on their way to a win here, but I tell you what, Larry, Green Bay, I will want to watch the Northern Iowa score very closely when they go there next week, because I think later in the week, it's going to be an interesting ball game.
Oh, yeah, I think they're a better team, an improved team over last year. And again, it's a matter of getting the right combination on the floor. As much as Dick Bennett went into the season wanting to establish in a starting lineup, a set group, it hasn't happened. And now we see the Larry Hills getting in there and so forth. And when those guys get the experience they need, it's going to be a Phoenix team to be reckoned with. And with his coaching in the meantime, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
That game at Northern Iowa will be the ultimate tempo game in this league, as Bennett has his shot blocked by Campbell. And here goes Ford all the way to the hole. It falls, and he's fouled by Johnson.
Jeff Ford has been waiting all night long to be able to create something.
We're down to 4 seconds remaining in the game. They score the bucket for Ford. Here he goes. And Ben Johnson fouls out scoreless for the third time in as many games against the Bears. But he is a talented sophomore from Stevens Point.
Coach Bennett was talking about Southwest. The amazing thing about him is faces change that as we've seen over last year. Henderson, Kentucky's gone. But the system, Charlie Spenauer just finds ways to replace those old cogs with new ones and to maybe change their style a bit. The system just rolls on.
Final seconds, Bennett throws it up off the glass. And the final 14-point margin is the biggest of the game as SMSU goes 1-1 in the conference. So does Wisconsin-Green Bay. The Bears now 10-4 overall, and the Phoenix fall to 9-4. A couple of good ball clubs, and they'll do battle again February 12th at Hammond Student Center. Bears win by 14. We'll be back in Green Bay in just a moment.
February 20th and 21st, you can join the Stars. Join us. It's Starathon 90, the telethon for cerebral palsy. Join us. Join John Ritter, Henry Winkler, and me, Dennis James, for a star-studded weekend. Stars from Hollywood, Las Vegas, and New York join together to help people with cerebral palsy. January 20th and 21st, it's Starathon 90.
Join Aaron Davis and Tom Milburn and the rest of the Eyewitness News team for Starathon 90, Saturday night, January 20th at 10:30, right here on Channel 5. Skiers Outlet announces a store-wide clothing sale. That's right, get 50% off on all ski clothing, store-wide. Nothing will be held back. Now's the time to get the ski clothing and equipment you've always wanted at warehouse direct prices. Complete downhill packages are on sale for $199, and cross-country packages are only $129. Get a junior cross-country package for just $39.95. Great deals like these won't last long, so hurry in to Skiers Outlet, Highway 44 and 41 Oshkosh.
Back at the Brown County Arena, the SMSU Bears have defeated the Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix by the final score of 74-60, and both teams are now dead even in Mid-Continent Conference play at 1-1. A big win, Larry, for the Bears. They were in danger of going 0-2. It was more an opportunity game maybe for the Phoenix to really get out to a great 2-0 start. Now both teams are kind of on an even keel.
You know, Art, I think one of the things for the Phoenix, I think they look at playing Southwest Missouri State as a measuring stick of how good a club they have, because it's the one team in the league they have not been able to beat since Coach Bennett got here. And because of that, I think it's a particularly disheartening loss for them, and I'm sure they'll bounce back and so forth, but it is a measuring stick. When they play the Bears, I mean, this is a team they got to beat. If you're ever going to get to the top of this conference, this is a team you got to beat. And again, they came up short for the 15th time in a row.
Well, Tom, Darrell Reed with 32 points led the way. Lee Campbell had 16 points, most of them in the first half, but finished way up in the teens in rebounds.
I think 18 unofficially on the rebounds, but Darrell Reed, if ever there were a player trying to redeem himself for what he would call the worst performance he's had in a long time Saturday at Chicago, he just took control this evening and decided he was going to make some things happen out there. His shooting percentage is going to be way up there. He had a super night, hit the long-range shots, but more importantly, did things down low.
Well, Tom, the Bears are kind of a funny team in that they're a good team. They're 10-4 right now. They have been capable of some stinko performances on the road. The games at Illinois, Chicago, and the first half at Arkansas State, and from the time they got off the plane at Wichita State. But lest you say they're a bad road team, well, they come up with a performance like this, and St. Louis, and Tulsa.
And Tulsa, that's the thing. It's so hard to put a handle on what the Bears are able to do this year. They come home. When they come home, the Bears are the team they're supposed to be. But as any coach will tell you, it's when you take the road. That's when you find out what you're going to be and how far you may go when the year's over with. And the Bears just quite haven't been able to decide what kind of road team they're going to be. They need more performances like this, but who knows? There may be another stinko down the road for them.
Gentlemen, we're in for a nutty year in the AmQ.
Well, we are.
Final score just in Western Illinois upsets Northern Iowa 64-61. Good news to everybody. Good news to you guys. Good news to Dick Bennett and his Phoenix team.
Yeah, except we both got to go to Macomb, Illinois, which is bad enough in and of itself, no matter if you have to play a game, and both teams do. Every year, I think in just about every conference, Larry, every coach says, boy, our league is balanced this year. Every game, it's going to go right down to it. And inevitably, things shake out, and you have your first division and your second division, your contenders and your pretenders. But I think, honestly, more so than ever before in this league this year, you really do have a lot of factors out there. You have these two clubs. You have Northern Iowa picked to win. Everybody's got to play Cleveland State, even though the games don't count in the league. And now you've got Western Illinois beating a couple of people. Chicago knocks off SMS. It's pretty wild.
I think possibly Pete Rozelle had a hand in forming the AMQ because he wanted parity.
Yeah.
And so he started this as a kind of a side thing that nobody knows about. But you're right, and I think that's great for everybody involved. Nobody gets out of the race early. Nobody wins it early. And it's entertaining for the fans. And I'm sure the coaches would prefer to dominate more situations. But it's nice for everybody else it doesn't happen.
For the Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix tonight, 25 points for Tony Bennett. That's the most that he has scored in a game this year, but I think he probably felt like he had to take that onto his own shoulders.
And if you notice, as the game wears on, more and more he takes control. He's the guy that's going to drive. He's the guy that's going to pull up and take the three-pointer. And that's just the nature of the Phoenix team. They've got Tony Bennett and 4 people that more or less support him. And that's the way they have to be, because talent-wise, contribution-wise, he's in a class by himself as far as the GB team goes.
And again for the Bears, Darrell Reed with 32 points, Lee Campbell with 16 points, and unofficially 18 rebounds. So SMSU is back home now for 4 in a row. They won't be back on the road until February the 3rd when they go to the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa for their first meeting of the year against Eldon Miller's UNI Panthers. But this Saturday afternoon, Valparaiso is at Hammond Student Center for a 1:35 tip-off, Cleveland State. A week from tonight. Even though it's non-conference, Tom, that's always a barrel of fun.
Well, it'll be fun, and Archie, talk about the 4 ball games, and it's hard not to think that the Bears will not come home and play well at Hammond Center. 4 ball games and potentially 4 wins, and you could be looking at a 14-4 team headed into the month of February. And I think on paper, back in October, a lot of us, pessimists that we may be, wouldn't have thought that that was possible for this Bears team.
That would be pretty nice. Right now it's 10-4 and the Phoenix at 9-4. Tonight SMS wins 74-60. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
I'm Dick Bennett, here to tell you about Bay City's final closeout on remaining 1989 Plymouth Voyagers and Acclaims. For a limited time, we have Voyagers for only $13,995, including a $1,000 rebate for your down payment, or Acclaims for just $11,625, with a $1,000 rebate for your down payment, plus 1990 Voyagers with a $1,000 guaranteed rebate from Chrysler. Stop in today for a great deal and meet my new team, the Bay City Customer Satisfaction Team, 225 South Military in Green Bay.
We need a good life insurance agent.
How do you pick one?
Here's my theory.
Okay.
The company with the most satisfied customers
Looks like Northwestern Mutual.
will also have the best trained, most knowledgeable agents.
Okay, let's see who's number 1. Northwestern Mutual. Here's my theory. We should call one of their agents.
Join thousands of other satisfied customers. Call a Northwestern Mutual Life agent today. In Green Bay, call James Hunt and Stuart Brink.
You'll get the best of winter when you get the most trouble-free American car, the 1990 Buick LeSabre from your Upper Peninsula Buick dealer. Now get rebates of up to $1,250, and the car surveys consistently rank among the best in quality and service. LeSabre has a powerful engine, top technology, and the smooth Dynaride suspension. Prestige, elegance, and value, now with up to $1,250 in rebates. Get the best of winter in a 1990 LeSabre from your Upper Peninsula Buick dealers.
Chuck Woolery here.
Whoa, boy!
I'm often asked to describe the perfect love connection date.
Did you ever watch anybody just try to dig themselves out of a ditch?
Well, there's the romance.
He's already holding my hand, and I'm loving it.
The adventure.
I just took a header right down the stairs. I guess I sort of fell for him.
And it's very unpredictable.
All of a sudden, he, pulled me up against him, and we were kissing.
So for perfect laughs, join the fun on Love Connection.
Weeknights at 11:30 on Channel 3.
Our final score again, 74-60 in favor of the SMSU Bears over Wisconsin Green Bay. Larry, we were talking about the Bears going home for 4 in a row. The opposite is the case now for the Phoenix.
The Phoenix go on the road for 4 as you're at home for 4. And catch the skills with Northern Iowa, who's supposed to win the league. Western Illinois, who beat them tonight. Illinois, Chicago, who beat you Saturday night. And then Cleveland State, always tough. Could be a rough couple weeks.
I'd call that a gauntlet.
I think this is the acid test for the Phoenix to see what kind of year they're going to have.
That they're getting set to run that. And Tom, as always, the Spoon Hour team bounces back. I think on only one occasion in the last 5 years have they lost 2 in a row. That's incredible.
Well, Charlie has this knack for remotivating players after what you would call an embarrassing or a lackluster performance. He has the ability to set his players down and say, this is what, we have to do tonight so that we don't repeat the performance. And as you said, Art, just back-to-back bad performances are just not part of Charlie Spoon Hour's game plan.
So it's Valparaiso on Saturday afternoon at 1:35 at Spoon's Temple of Doom. Next Monday night, Cleveland State comes to town. The Kansas City Royals Caravan will be at Hammond Student Center in the person of Jim Eisenreich and Jeff Montgomery. On the 27th, the Saturday night, it's Eastern Illinois, and the 31st, UMKC. Final non-conference test of the year. Larry, as always, a great pleasure working with you.
Enjoyed it, Art, and Tom also.
Thank you, Larry.
We'll look forward to doing the broadcast for our Springfield viewers when the Phoenix comes to Hammond Student Center on February the 12th for the return match, as SMS will try to maintain this most improbable winning streak. Again, those percentages are going to catch up with SMS sometime, but it wasn't tonight.
Not tonight.
74-60 is our final score. And now for Larry McCarron, the sports director at WFRV, and Tom Mass, sports director of KSPR. Art Haynes saying thanks for joining us, and good night from Green Bay.
UWGB basketball has been brought to you in part by Kopp's Food Centers, the Charles T. Oslickson District Agency of Northwestern Mutual Life, and by Bay City Chrysler Plymouth, committed to customer satisfaction.
Wisconsin's winter and the second Badger State Winter Games. Compete against the best Wisconsin has to offer. Call 1-608-251-3333. Sponsored by Wisconsin Tourism Development.
Hi folks, Mark Babe, Team Babe. Our end of the decade sale was a tremendous success. Now we're overstocked with trade-ins, so we're continuing our $1,500 guaranteed minimum trade allowance on every used car in stock. Check this out. With your trade, you can own this 85 Ford Tempo for just $99 a month. Or how about this 85 Volkswagen Golf with your $1,500 minimum trade, only $79 a month. So what do? Pick up the phone, call the magic number, 749-3232, or better yet, come on down and let's make a deal.
Skiers Outlet announces a store-wide clothing sale. That's right, get 50% off on all ski clothing, store-wide. Nothing will be held back. Now's the time to get the ski clothing and equipment you've always wanted at warehouse direct prices. Complete downhill packages are on sale for $199, and cross-country packages are only $129. Get a junior cross-country package for just $39.95. Great deals like these won't last long, so hurry in to Skiers Outlet, Highway 44 and 41 Oshkosh.
Sometimes when you ask a simple question,
where do babies come from?
You'll get a direct answer.
Sex.
Because there only is one answer.
What would you have said if you hadn't said ice cream? Ice cream.
But there's one show devoted to questions with a variety of answers.
Name something men replace when they achieve fame and fortune.
Car.
Wardrobe.
Wives.
Have you guessed what it is yet?
Can you give me a hint?
Sure. Just watch Family Feud.
We're not responsible for the answers given by our contestants.
Watch Family Feud, weekdays at 5, right here on Channel 3. Larry McCarron, Channel 3 Eyewitness Sports. The following program is a paid advertisement. WFRV-TV and WJMN-TV are not responsible for any claims made by the sponsor.
photographic memory.
I feel like I'm using more of my mind. I don't know. They say that you only use a fraction of your brain, and I feel like I've been using more of my brain ever since I've taken this memory course.
The impact from the memory course was so powerful. Now my memory is 700% more powerful than it was before.
You can get better grades with less study time.
Before I took the course, I'd study about 3 hours a night, and my GPA was a 2.5. Now that I've taken the memory course, I only study about an hour a night, and my GPA has skyrocketed to a 3.5. It is definitely the best thing I've ever done.
Having a better memory will enable me to get better grades in school and higher SAT scores, and that will give me a chance to go to the college I want to.
You can build self-confidence and self-esteem.
Having a better memory does develop more self-confidence and more self-esteem. In my business, I need to know what's going on, and I need to keep on top of things.
You can make more money with a better memory.
Having a good memory translates to dollars by your ability to network. When you network with people and you know their name, they get to know you, they like you, there's a good rapport, they want to do business with you. It all comes down from that original remembering them. That translates to dollars.
I probably read every memory course that was commercially available. Some of them were excellent, some of them were lousy. But after 2 hours with this genius, Kevin Trudeau, I am absolutely convinced we have on our hands a revolutionary breakthrough in memory enhancement.
The power of your mind is unlimited. It can build machines that explore the bottom of the ocean and land men on the moon. Every part of our life, work, and play relies on the mind and memory. Why is it that with an instrument more sophisticated than any computer, most of us remember less than 10% of what we learn in school and less than 10% of the people's names we meet? Yet now a technological breakthrough has determined that, as incredible as it sounds, every person has a photographic memory just waiting to be unleashed. Stay tuned, get a pencil and paper, and in the next 30 minutes you'll be able to take a test to find out just how good your memory really is and learn to unleash the power of your own mega memory. Featuring Kevin Trudeau, author, lecturer, and America's foremost memory expert. Kevin is president and founder of the world's largest memory training company, the American Memory Institute. Kevin has appeared on television and radio talk shows throughout the country and has taught his revolutionary memory techniques to thousands, including many Fortune 500 companies. Now, let's allow Kevin to show you how you can develop a mega memory.
Thanks. What I really want to talk about now, is everyone's favorite subject. And help me out, what's everyone's favorite subject here? Money, all right. Anything else? Food, okay. I get food a lot. I think that's pretty high on the priority list. It's funny, no matter where I go, when I speak, people always give me different answers for their favorite subjects. I think a lot of them are pretty high on the priority list. But studies have shown that a person's favorite subject is really themselves. And in order for you and I, as people in our lives, to inspire others to like us and give us some of their business, we first have to show genuine interest and concern in them. You know, it was also discovered that a person's name is actually the sweetest sound in the language to that person. But how many of us actually use that fact to our advantage every day in our lives by remembering and using people's names? Let me ask you all a question here by a show of hands, and be honest. How many here has actually happened to at least once? You walk up to someone, you shake hands, that person gives you their name. And then as soon as that handshake breaks, the name just kind of drops right to the floor. Does that happen to anybody here? Sure, all of you. I always kid, if you didn't raise your hand to that one, maybe you didn't understand the question. It's happened to all of us at least once or twice. And it's embarrassing, isn't it? You know, you're at a cocktail party and you're chatting with someone, all of a sudden your spouse comes over and you can't even make a proper introduction. It's embarrassing. But in a business situation, not only is that embarrassing to you, maybe it's costing you some money. You know, I always kid, you always remember someone's face, but you usually have a hard time remembering the name. You walk into a bank and say, "I remember your face, I never forget a face." What's the next thing you say? "But I'm terrible at names, I never remember people's names." I always kid, I don't think anyone's ever walked up to you and said, "You know, I remember your name, but what's your face?" It usually doesn't work that way. Usually remember the things that we hear and not the things that we see. Let's talk about education just for a moment. I know a lot of us send our children to school every day to do well. That's why we send them to fine schools. We want them to learn a lot of information, get into the college of their choice, get into their careers, the job of their choice. so they can make the money that they want to make. We want them to be successful. But you know, studies have proven today that our children are under increasing amounts of pressure and stress to get what? Good grades. And a lot of us as parents get frustrated because we're looking at our own children thinking, why? They study, how come they can't do well? And it hurts us because it really is hurting the self-image of our children. Well, see, kids need tools to get the job done, to get the A's. Just like if we sent a mechanic in to fix a car, we would give that mechanic tools, specific tools to do the job. We wouldn't say, go in and fix the car, but we're not going to give you any tools to do it. Good luck. Wouldn't work. We send our kids to school, though, with the same attitude. Go to school, we want you to do well, but of course, good luck. We hope you do well. You see, memory, being able to recall information, is the actual foundation of learning. Learning and memory go hand in hand. A student, in order to do well in school, needs to have a good memory. He needs to be able to recall information.
In 6th grade, I would take spelling tests every Friday. And every Thursday, I would take my spelling paper home and study it. And now every Friday, I would go there, and I wouldn't remember even half of them. And after, in 7th grade, with my spelling, and after the memory course, now I can just take my thing home, take my paper home, relate it with the memory course, and go the next day and get them all right. It's great.
Well, I just took a real estate course, and I applied the memory techniques to learning the terminology. There were so many mortgages and different listing agreements to remember, it was mind-boggling. So I just applied the simple techniques, and it really worked. I took my test, it was successful. I'm a real estate broker, I'm psyched.
My son related a story that he came home from school and was asked a number of questions on an oral exam, and his self-esteem was improved greatly as a result of the memory course, because before he never would volunteer to give answers in class because he wasn't sure if he'd remember the answers or whether they were right. And now he can remember a lot more answers, and he's very much happier as a result of that.
I remember being at a function. There were about 50 people, and I walked into the room and I applied the memory techniques. And at the end of the night, during the night also, I remembered everybody's name. And I left addressing everybody by the name, and everybody was like really impressed.
Isn't that good? Isn't that good? You know, every time I see students benefit from the program like you just saw, it really makes me feel good about what we're doing at the Institute. How many people here, by a show of hands, were impressed by the results of those students? Sure. It excites me, too. Now, a student just a few months ago took our program, and he was flunking calculus straight across the board, straight Fs. And he came in, he said, you know, I can't remember the formulas for calculus. He said, Kevin, if I could remember these formulas, I would do real well. I said, okay, well, let me show you how. By using this mind, how you can remember all the formulas. So in about 3 minutes, told him how to recall the formulas. Couldn't believe it. He said, I got an exam tomorrow. He says, I'm going to come back to class and tell you how I did. Comes back to class the next day. I said, well, how'd you do? You know, we're all really interested. He says, well, I got some good news, I got some bad news. He says, the good news is I got a 100% on my exam. That kind of blew me away. That was exciting. I said, well, what's the bad news? He says, the bad news is they wouldn't accept the exam. They figured I must have cheated because I was getting straight Fs. I said, he said, no. He said, I got to take it again tomorrow in the principal's office. I said, well, how are you going to do? He said, I'm still going to get 100. He said, because it's committed to memory. Well, not only did this child's academics improve, but guess what else improved? His self-image. You're exactly right. The way he looked at himself. He felt better about himself because now, instead of thinking that he wasn't adequate, that he wasn't any good, now he knew he was good. He knew that he could go forward in life. But you know, memory techniques, it's not new. It's been around for thousands of years. It goes back to the time of Julius Caesar. But until just very recently, all memory techniques were very cumbersome and difficult to use and learn. Well, see, at the Institute, we had a theory that each person actually has a perfect photographic memory right now lying dormant, an ability you already have. Now, we weren't sure if that was true. So we did research developing what we thought to be some very simplified, very powerful, and very revolutionary memory technology and techniques.
I conducted a study in the Oklahoma School for the Blind in Muskogee. V.R. Carter, the superintendent of schools, invited us in. And the same techniques that are taught at the Mega Memory program with Kevin Trudeau were first developed there. We developed technique to teach the students so that they were able to go from 15% recallability up to 90%. We repeated the work with learning disabled students, and they again were able to get up to a 90% recallability. We found then that this was an ability that everyone had. It could be taught to anyone.
What I want to do now is I want to do a little demonstration to show you what can be done when you have a trained memory. Now, before I do this, it's important that you all realize none of you forget anything. Every time I say that, now someone has to be thinking, well, he doesn't know my memory. I forget things all the time. Some of you probably forgot how to get here today. No, you don't forget things. The problem is recalling information when you need it. See, every bit of information you see and hear is in the memory. The only problem is it's misfiled. Let me give you an example. You're maybe a student. You're going to take an exam, and you look at question 7, and you think, we just covered that in class yesterday, or I just read that last night. And you blank out on question 7. And you stare, and you think, doesn't come back to you. Put the paper down, pass the paper in, you walk out of the room, and as soon as you hit the doors, guess what pops into your mind? Boom, the answer. So it's obviously here, isn't it? It just gets misfiled. Example, you've seen filing cabinets. In those filing cabinets, you can actually put hundreds of files, bits of information all filed away in an order. If I asked any one of you, Keith, find me the Jones file. Ellen, find me the Harris file. You could go within seconds, have that information you need at your fingertips. But what would happen if we took the same files and I emptied them on the floor in this room and we mixed them all up? We called this the file pile. And I said, Suzanne Potts, can you find me the Jones file? You'd say, yeah, can you call me next Friday? I have to go through this big mess. Your mind is exactly the same way. You meet people every day. You shake their hands and get their names. You have telephone conversations. If you're a student, you sit in lecture classes, you read books, you read materials, you attend seminars and training sessions. All you're doing is taking information and throwing it in the Grand Canyon of your mind. It's like taking a file folder and throwing it into a room arbitrarily. Then when you try to go back to recall it and you see this person that you met 3 weeks ago, you think, oh, what's the name? The mind says, sorry, I forgot. You did not forget. It's here. The only problem is it's misfiled. Now, when we work with those blind and mentally handicapped children, we actually developed a way to teach anyone how to develop mental file folders in your mind. So virtually anything you see or hear automatically goes into a mental file. Then when you try to go back to recall it, whether it be a person's name or something for a test or something you heard or something you read, it instantly pops back. Instead of saying, I remember your face, you come back and say, Lisa Phillips, nice to meet you. Now I'm going to do a little demonstration for you to show you what can be done when you have a trained memory. Now I had a chance to meet most of you as you came in today, so I do remember your names. What I'm going to do is go around the room, call you out randomly by name. When I call on you, I want you to call out to the group a word. Any word at all, and we'll jot it down. Peter, why don't we start with number 1?
Sunday.
Sunday, where it says number 1 in your papers, everyone write down Sunday. All right, Ron for number 2?
Car.
Car for number 2. How about Rick for number 3?
Lunch.
Lunch for number 3. How about, let's see, how about Lisa? Lisa Phillips for number 4?
Football.
Football for number 4. How about Jack for number 5?
Sunlight.
Sunlight, good for number 5. How about, let's see, for number 6, let's go to Carol for number 6.
House.
House for number 6. How about Henry? 7.
Egg.
Egg for number 7. And how about Bruce for number 8?
Cadillac.
Cadillac for number 8. How about Michael, Dr. Michael Harrison in the back?
Wristwatch.
Wristwatch for number 9. And how about Roy? Number 10?
Apple.
Apple for number 10. Let's see, 11, how about Maxine?
Ring.
Ring for number 11. Let's see, 12, let's go to Suzanne.
Consciousness.
Consciousness for number 12. Let's see, 13, let's go to Mary Alice.
Hambone.
Hambone for number 13. And 14, let's go to Sandy Miller.
Girls.
Girls for 14. And how about Heather for number 15?
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo for 15, great. Now this is called processing and organizing information. As I mentioned, none of you forget anything, you just misfile things. Now, let me see if I can recall these by memory. I think they go something like this. Number 1 is Sunday, 2 was car, 3 was lunch, 4 was football, 5 was sunlight, 6 was house, 7 was egg, 8 was, let's see, Cadillac, 9 was wristwatch, 10 was apple, 11 was ring, 12 was consciousness, 13 was hambone, 14 was girls, and 15, of course, was Kangaroo. Now backwards we go, kangaroo girls, then we have ham bone, consciousness, ring, then apple, wristwatch, Cadillac, then we have egg, house, sunlight, football, lunch, car, and of course the first one was Sunday. That's forwards and backwards by memory. Now, thank you. You know, every time I do this, people can be impressed with that demonstration, and I think it's impressive. But don't be impressed with that. See, I'm not anyone special. All I have is a trained memory. And folks, the fact is each one of you can do that. And not just with 15 things. You can do 50 things, 100 things, 1,000. Because you all have a perfect memory right now. The only difference is it's untrained. Now imagine if each one of you could do exactly what I just did, and you can now. But imagine if you've had it trained. In only a few short hours, that's what the Mega Memory program is all about. We can teach anyone how to release the memory that you already have. Now, if you're a student, do you think an improved memory, if you can do this, listen to everything the teacher says and recall it for test time? Or how about read a textbook and be able to recall it for test time? How many people here feel that if you were a student, your grades would dramatically improve? Of course, because learning and memory go hand in hand. Memory is the foundation of learning. It makes sense. So this is what Mega Memory is all about. Something that each one of you can do right now.
Yes, you can have a photographic memory. Get better grades and higher test scores, cut study time by 50%, and have more fun. Remember every person's name you meet, even hundreds at a time. Learn a foreign language in days. Have phone numbers, important facts, and trivia at the tip of your tongue. Easily make money in games of chance. Excel on college entrance exams. Amaze your friends with your newfound powers and much, much more. Here's what you'll get. 8 specially designed power-packed cassettes containing Kevin Trudeau's simple yet effective techniques that will within minutes begin to release your own perfect memory. You'll also receive the easy-to-follow workbook that will reinforce your newly discovered ability and guarantee success. And if you order right now, you'll receive as a special bonus how to make $1,000 in the next 30 days using your new Mega Memory. This report alone could pay for the entire program many times over. This is a gift your entire family will enjoy for a lifetime. Imagine what this Mega Memory program could do for advancing your career, putting dollars in your pocket, and increasing your children's grades and self-esteem. But you won't pay $500. Now, as a special first-time television offer, this memory breakthrough can be yours for the incredibly low price of $59.95. Just pennies a day to give you and your children the advantage you need for getting ahead today. Kevin is so sure that this Mega Memory program will work for you that you may use the program and within a 30-day period. If your memory hasn't improved at least 500%, then send the program back and receive a full refund. Don't hold your children or yourself back any longer.
To order the Mega Memory program, use your credit card and call 1-800-543-2400. That's 1-800-543-2400. Or send check or money order with $4.95 shipping and handling to Mega Memory, Post Office Box 6105, Westerville, Ohio 43081. That's 1-800-543-2400. Order now.
I'm a businessman, and I look at investments in relationship to the value I received. The money that I paid for the course, I got 100 times value back for what I paid.
One of the most rewarding results of taking the course was I had my children in the course with me. My oldest son is now in college. He's a junior. He is on academic scholarship, makes straight A's, and I really believe the memory course has had a lot to do with that.
Before I took the course, I'd study about 3 hours a night, and my GPA was a 2.5. Now that I've taken the memory course, I only study about an hour a night, and my GPA is skyrocketed to a 3.5. It is definitely the best thing I've ever done.
Tosh, you have a question?
Kevin, will this course really help me get better grades in high school and college?
Tosh, as a high school student, or even as a college student, or a grad student, or a grade school student, a good memory is going to dramatically improve a student's grades. No question. Because memory is the whole foundation of learning. If you learn something, you have to be able to recall it. Bottom line. Now let me ask you a question. The next test that you're going to take, if you could bring with you all of your notes, would you probably do real well on that test? Yeah, no question about it, right? You'd definitely do well in the exam because you had all your notes there. Well, that's what the Mega Memory program is all about.
it teaches people to develop a photographic memory so that anything you want, whether it be anything you read or anything you hear or see, can be recalled anytime you want in the future. So if you have your notes and you commit them to memory, it's just like walking in with them to the next test, which means A on the exam. You know, we've had students study in about 1/3 the time, and they finish their 3-hour exams in about an hour, straight A's, because they can recall instantly all the information that they need to recall. Memory equals good grades. Aisha, you have a question?
Yes, I have 2 children. I'd like to know at what ages can they begin benefiting from the program?
It depends. We say about 6, 7, 8 is when they can start, and you can actually assist your child go through the home study course at that age. Once they hit 9 or 10, they usually can pick up the course on their own. Now, the great thing about children, about students who are in school, we want our students, our children to do well. We want them to get A's. But A's and B's are really not just letters on a piece of paper. It's really a child's ticket. It's a passport to whether they're going to get into the college of their choice, whether they're going to get into the career and get the job and make the money they want with their future. So as parents, I think it means a lot to us if those children get the grades they are capable of getting. And we really need to give our children the tools that they need in order to do the job. Good question. Lisa Phillips, you have a question?
Yes, is this program hard to learn, and do you have to study and study?
I get that a lot. People always are afraid, boy, if I take this program, do I have to practice every single night? And, you know, if I don't use it, will I lose it? And the answer is no, you don't have to practice. Once you learn these techniques, once your mind has been exercised, what actually happens is the ability has been released. It's not a skill you're learning. Example, if you ever learn how to ride a bike, drive a 4-speed manual transmission in a car, or learn how to swim, once you learned how, do you ever have to go back and take swimming lessons? Of course not. Even if you haven't gotten a pool for 20 years and I throw you in the deep end, guess what happens? You swim. You don't drown, you swim. Because it was an ability that was released. Same thing here with the memory. Once the memory has been exercised, it's like speaking a language. It's like walking. You do it automatically. It's extremely easy to pick up, and once you pick it up, it's locked in for life.
During the first lesson, I got results. It was so easy, I couldn't even believe it. It was just amazing, and it was so much fun.
The first day, the things that he taught improved me so much that when I got there, maybe I can remember 5 things. When I got out of there, 90 things. He just improved it so much.
Yes, you can have a photographic memory. Get better grades and higher test scores, cut study time by 50%, and have more fun. Remember every person's name you meet, even hundreds at a time. Learn a foreign language in days. Have phone numbers, important facts, and trivia at the tip of your tongue. Easily make money in games of chance. Excel on college entrance exams. Amaze your friends with your newfound powers and much, much more. Here's what you'll get. 8 specially designed power-packed cassettes containing Kevin Trudeau's simple yet effective techniques that will within minutes begin to release your own perfect memory. You'll also receive the easy-to-follow workbook that will reinforce your newly discovered ability and guarantee success. And if you order right now, you'll receive as a special bonus how to make $1,000 in the next 30 days using your new Mega Memory. This report alone could pay for the entire program many times over. This is a gift your entire family will enjoy for a lifetime. Imagine what this Mega Memory program could do for advancing your career, putting dollars in your pocket, and increasing your children's grades and self-esteem. But you won't pay $500. Now, as a special first-time television offer, this memory breakthrough can be yours for the incredibly low price of $59.95. Just pennies a day to give you and your children the advantage you need for getting ahead today. Kevin is so sure that this Mega Memory program will work for you that you may use the program, and within a 30-day period, if your memory hasn't improved at least 500%, then send the program back and receive a full refund. Don't hold your children or yourself back any longer.
To order the Mega Memory program, use your credit card and call 1-800-543-2400. That's 1-800-543-2400. Or send check or money order with $4.95 shipping and handling to Mega Memory, Post Office Box 6105, Westerville, Ohio 43081. That's 1-800-543-2400. Order now.
You know, people always ask me and say, Kevin, how did you get involved in memory? How did you develop such a powerful memory for yourself? Well, the fact is, I did not have a good memory most of my life. See, in 1979, I was an LD child, had a learning speech impediment. I was flunking out of high school. I was 45 pounds overweight, had a dead-end job, a beat-up car, didn't feel good about myself. My future did not look very bright. I tried to improve myself, but nothing seemed to work, until I met a man who was a millionaire, speaking one evening on success. Now, 3 years previous, he was a body shop mechanic, so I figured he knew something I didn't know. Well, I followed him after this little lecture to a Denny's restaurant. There was about 5 people that happened to follow him. I was lucky enough to sit down next to him. He shared with me that night till 4 o'clock in the morning, principles of success. And I furiously took down notes. The most important thing that man taught me that night, he said, Kevin, knowledge is power, but only if you can remember it. Isn't that powerful? That literally changed my whole life, because I took that, I thought, you know, I can't remember anything. That's why I'm not going forward. So I began to seek out ways to improve my own memory. Nothing really seemed to work. I read all the books, I went to all the seminars, I listened to all the tapes. Nothing worked for me. Until I met a man who was doing research with blind children, handicapped children. Him and I got together, and together we pioneered this whole way of how the memory and mind actually worked. And that's when my life changed, because I could now remember things. I could use things. It made all the difference. I found out that it's true. Knowledge is power, but only if you can remember it. You see, this will work for you, because I know it's worked for me. It's changed my life. I know it can change your life. I'd like to share with you a poem I think is real special. It goes, it's not what you eat, but it's what you digest that makes you strong. It's not what you earn, but what you save that brings you wealth. And it's not what you learn in life, but rather what you remember that makes you wise. If you have not ordered the Mega Memory program yet, I urge you, order now. You owe it to yourselves, you owe it to your children. Order now.
Yes, you can have a photographic memory. Here's what you'll get. 8 specially designed power-packed cassettes containing Kevin Trudeau's simple yet effective techniques that will within minutes begin to release your own perfect memory. You'll also receive the easy-to-follow workbook that will reinforce your newly discovered ability and guarantee success. And if you order right now, you'll receive as a special bonus how to make $1,000 in the next 30 days using your new Mega Memory. This memory breakthrough can be yours for the incredibly low price of $59.95.
What I want to do now is go back to the list. I'd like anyone here in the room to call out any number on that list. I'll immediately tell you the word you called. Or call out any of the words, I'll immediately tell you the number. Okay, can we begin? Number and item. Apple's number 10. Cross it off on your sheet, folks, so you know that's been called. Number 8, of course, was Cadillac. Cross it off.
15.
6 was house, and 15 was kangaroo.
7.
4 was football. 7 was egg. Cross them off. 12 was consciousness. Cross it off. 11 was ring. Cross it off. 5 was sunlight. Cross it off. 14 was girls. Hold on just for a second. Let me now tell you the ones you didn't call. You didn't call number 1, which was Sunday. You didn't call 2, which was car. You didn't call 3, which is lunch. You also didn't call number 9, which was wrist.